Hi everyone, and welcome to Find Yourself Adventures, where today's adventure I am making a pot roast in my Instant Pot. And I harvested some onion from the garden and some rosemary and thyme. And I'm loosely following this recipe out of this book here by Jeffrey Eisner. This is the best book I have seen when it comes to the Instant Pot. It's got beautiful illustrations, and my husband had asked me if I would make this cornbread he's seen at the store and thought it sounded good, so we'll try it. I usually make it from scratch, but we'll try this honey butter cornbread. And so we're getting ready to start this and get it ready for dinner. I have some potatoes here and some carrots that I'm going to be getting ready also to put into this dish, so hopefully this meal turns out delicious. So I have my seasonings ready for the roast beef, and this is some fresh rosemary from the garden. It called for dried. I'm using fresh since I have it. It called for kosher salt, which I have it right there. I don't know if you can see it. It's next to the rosemary. I have onion powder, garlic powder, pepper, seasoned salt, dried parsley because my fresh parsley didn't germinate, so I had to replant it and it's not quite there yet. Fresh thyme, which it calls for dried thyme in the recipe. And so this is going to be mixed together and coat the surfaces of the meat before you sear it in the Instant Pot. So it says to put the carrots in a foil packet as well as the potatoes, so that's what I'm doing. And here's the potatoes. I season them. It didn't say to season them, but I'm seasoning them. I put some seasoned salt and some pepper on them and the carrots. So I have the roast here, and it has been seasoned on all sides with the seasoning that I prepared earlier. I've got my garlic. It's in slices, a tablespoon of butter, 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. I've got about a tablespoon and a half of olive oil. I've got 1 medium onion from the garden. Here I have my carrot and potatoes in the foil packet. I have some Worcestershire sauce. I have 2 cups of beef broth with a cup of water because I've got enough beef soup base in there to make 3 cups because I don't have the wine. And I have the trivet here. So I'm going to turn my Instant Pot onto the saute, and it's supposed to be on high. And then I'm going to start it. And I'm supposed to add the oil to the pot. So we're going to sear the meat on all sides to start this recipe. Now I've heard to test to see if your oil is hot enough in your stainless steel pan is to stick the wooden spoon handle in, and if it bubbles, then it's hot enough. So I generally use that as a general rule of thumb, but I don't know how true this is, but it does seem to help. Hot enough or not, here we go. Seems like that worked. That was a pretty nice sear, or sizzle. Oh, it smells good. And that oil that I put in, that was extra virgin olive oil. Now I'm supposed to leave this 1 to 2 minutes on each side before moving. So here is the beef after I seared it on all sides for the 1 to 2 minutes that it said to do. And now I'm going to add the onions to this pan. You do not clean the pan. So I'll add the onions to it, and then we will scrape it with a wooden spoon to get the bits off. Scrape it to get those bits off at the bottom of the pan. I was supposed to add that tablespoon of butter to help with that. It's in there now. We'll add some Worcestershire. Just about 3 tablespoons I'm supposed to add. And then I'll add the garlic. The Worcestershire really helped clean the bottom of the pan, and the garlic has now been added. Now look how clean that pan is. I'm starting to really worry about this. Got a little steam coming up. So that's looking pretty good. You're supposed to add the trivet with the handles facing upward, and then place the meat back into the pot. Now I'm going to add the extra water that I have, along with the beef broth. So I have added the foil packets with the carrots and the potatoes on top of the roast, and the roast is on the trivet, and the trivet is over top of the onions. I have my red seal for my Instant Pot. This is what I use for savory dishes, and I am placing it with the lid on. And I'm going to hit cancel from where we did the saute. And we're going to go up here to pressure cook. And it's on high. And we need it for 1 hour. This is your weight. Make sure that it is seated properly, and then make sure this is vent, this is seal. Make sure that it is on seal. Now that the seal is in, the weight is on, and it is set to seal, we are going to hit start. I'll see you in an hour. It'll feel like seconds. So I preheated the oven to 400 degrees with some oil in my skillet and poured the cornbread mix in here. And so it's going to go back into the oven for the next 15 to 20 minutes. So we have 2 minutes left on our roast, and as you see, this pin is up for the pressurized. It's been there for an hour. Or almost an hour, 58 minutes, and once this timer goes off, we will let it count up for 15 minutes before we release the steam. So the timer is going off, and now we have a 15-minute time that'll start going up. It'll start with 1 minute and then 2 minutes and go up from there. So we do that for 15 minutes. And I'm to mix a little bit of water with the cornstarch and make a slurry that will go into this mix. And the count up is still going on. We're at 4 minutes, We also have the cornstarch slurry made here with the water. This will go into the broth that's left over in the roast and to help make our gravy. We're at the 15-minute mark on the Instant Pot, and now we're supposed to release the steam. The cornbread is out of the oven, and with a toothpick in it, it's clean, so it's done. Remember, when you're using the Instant Pot, to let the pressure completely come down and make sure that that pin drops before you open up the Instant Pot to avoid burns. It is still pressurized until that pin drops. So we wait until that pin drops, then we can open it. Don't forget that. That's the scariest thing that people seem to have about using a pressure cooker, is they're afraid it's going to explode on them. The pin just dropped, and we are about 16 minutes on the time from the quick release. So when I depressurized it, it was 15 minutes into the count up, and now it's 16 minutes later that the pin finally dropped. Now it is safe to open the lid. So we're looking inside. We've taken that lid off. Put these potatoes and carrots over here on this plate. Got to unbury that roast. There's the broth. I'm going to take that rack out, and then I'm going to add the cornstarch to this. Supposed to turn this on to saute. You're supposed to cancel it, then you're supposed to hit the saute and turn it on just for a few moments. And that'll help thicken up this broth. You're supposed to add a packet of brown gravy to this. I'm not going to. I'm going to let this be my gravy, my sauce. And that's how I'm going to do this. So I'm going to shred the beef and put that back into that gravy, and then I'll put the potatoes and carrots into it also. So there's the potatoes and carrots, and now we're going to shred this beef. And I'll show you how tender it is. This is after an hour in the pressure cooker. Feels pretty tender. Just at an awkward angle, but it's coming apart pretty well. And then we're going to stick this back into the gravy. the finished dinner. Hope you've enjoyed watching Find Yourself Adventures. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already, and we appreciate you supporting us. Have a great day.